We've seen teachers more readily post something or reach out or say, hey, can I get feedback on this? Or, hey, can we work together on this? Whereas prior to this, we would have times in like meetings or professional development days where we would have that opportunity, but this is more of it can happen at any time.
More engaged in terms of how it changed learning. It changed their interactions with each other and the teacher. And I think fundamentally that is critical.
To get project-based learning and to get experiential learning, what you really need are a few things. One is you need a collaborative environment where you can give feedback to one another, which Huddle Up is great at. It's also an environment where you need to be able to make incremental kind of changes oftentimes to your project or to your deliverable. How do you keep, for example, a portfolio of something that's getting better or that's incrementally making changes to? Huddle Up provides a much better platform to be able to do that naturally.
We really want to prioritize reflection and feedback, and we haven't always had an outlet to. So with this, it's really made the process of feedback and collaboration a little more transparent and a little more comfortable. Just talking about your learning is one of the most important things about learning, so this is a great opportunity for that.
Another thing that Huddle Up allows us to do is to do peer evaluations with our pre-service teachers much more easily than we were doing before. And it allows them to go a little bit more in depth into what they were saying to each other because of the platform.
By asking questions and by really encouraging teachers to share good practices, things they've tried, things that work, things that didn't work. So when people have implemented those strategies and they can share them, others will learn from that. And that's really where the learning is going to take place. It's not going to take place just sitting there listening to me or trying these problems and talking about it.
That we've had face-to-face training, synchronous training, and then we've allowed our learners to go, our instructors have allowed our learners to go off and work on some laboratory time. And what Huddle Up helped us solve was let's get 2 people together or 3 people together to collaborate during that time. And then, I can see what you're doing. Here's what I'm doing. Oh, am I doing that right? Yeah, I think I'm doing that right. Yeah, it looks like you're doing what I'm doing. And then bringing in potentially other collaborators to show their work. So that's one of the examples, I think, where you can create natural engagement using Huddle Up by bringing collaborators together in a project kind of based experience.
Huddle Up, I'd say the biggest difference is being able to spot changes earlier on in the program. With Huddle Up, the biggest difference is those changes happen a few weeks earlier into the program, and that lets other goals be met much earlier than they would have otherwise.
Using it has been really inspirational for our teachers and seeing how they could use it in their classroom. So as a student user, the teachers can now use it with their students.
So I think it'll help solve the issue of folks not completing coursework by giving them motivation, by putting them into a peer group, having some accountability.
As they would take a video, put it up, be like, what did you see? And critique each other. And so it maximized practice in a way that we couldn't fit into the schedule.
Basically, finding a platform like Huddle Up allows us to track growth easier. It allows us to look at what that growth might be and also to make some changes in our program based on the data that is provided through Huddle Up.
It's a very unique platform in the fact that it does have those collaborative functions, and you can assign like who's collaborating with what, a little bit more so than a lot of the traditional platforms that student learning is happening on.
And Huddle Up is a perfect resource for being able to have students learners collaborate with one another, and then be able to identify maybe where they could improve their work, where other people's work looks different, and collaboratively get a sense of whether they're meeting the expectation. Huddle Up also can provide some benefits for employers. They can obviously use it to upskill or reskill their employees. They can put it in their learning, training, and development models in a way that's a natural learning situation, not in a way where they have to all jump into a classroom. There's a lot more natural fit in using Huddle Up. So those are some of the ways that we've effectively seen it being used.
Itself. So it's a model for what you want to happen in the math class. You want that discourse. And when that doesn't happen, there's no learning happening.